Right, sir. And check out what we completed in the last class. So, in object orientation, and we have discussed on object orientation. Inside this, we have started types of programming languages. In types of programming languages, we completed almost all two types of programming languages. We completed. Right. All of you observe this. Tell me, sir, to prepare applications overall, how many types of programming languages are existed? Four types are available. What are the four types of programming languages? Unstructured programming languages, structured programming languages, object-oriented programming languages, then aspect-oriented programming languages. These are overall four types of programming languages are existed. Next one. There are given few questions. What are the differences between unstructured programming languages and structured programming languages? Here already we are given one answer. Unstructured programming languages are outdated programming languages. They were introduced at the starting point of the computer science. At the starting point of the computers, they were introduced. Examples are given: BASIC and Fortran. So BASIC is first interpretive programming language, and Fortran is which one? First compilative programming language. Next one is structured programming languages are not outdated programming languages. They are utilized for our at present application requirements. Examples are which one? C and Pascal. Observe this: C and Pascal. I have not said C and C++. I said to you C and Pascal. C++ is not a structured programming language. C++ is which one? Object-oriented programming language. Next one, unstructured programming languages are not having proper structure to prepare applications, whereas structured programming languages are having proper structure to prepare applications. Next one is unstructured programming languages are using mnemonic codes to prepare applications, where mnemonic codes are low-level codes. They are available in very less number and they will provide less number of features to the applications. Structured programming languages are using high-level syntaxes. These are available in more number and they will provide more number of features to the applications. Next one is unstructured programming languages are having only go-to statement to define flow of execution. It is not sufficient to define very good flow of execution in our applications. But structured programming languages are having more and more number of flow controllers. By using these many flow controllers, we are able to define very good flow of execution. Right. So next one, unstructured programming languages are not having functions of feature. Unstructured programming languages are not having functions feature. It will increase code redundancy and it is not suggestible in application development. Next one, structured programming languages are having functions of feature. It will improve code reusability. It is suggestible in application development. Right. These are the various points here we understood. Then after that, I given one more question. What was the question I've given there? What are the differences between structured programming languages and object-oriented programming languages? Their answers are given clearly. Structured programming languages are providing difficult approach to prepare applications, whereas object-oriented programming languages are providing simplified approaches to prepare applications. Modularity is not good in structured programming languages, whereas modularity is very good in the case of object-oriented programming languages. Abstraction is not good in structured programming languages, whereas abstraction is very good in the case of which one? Object-oriented programming languages. Security is not good in structured programming languages, whereas security is very good in object-oriented programming languages. Shareability is not good in structured programming languages, and shareability is very good in object-oriented programming languages. Next one, code reusability is not good in structured programming languages, whereas code reusability is good in object-oriented programming languages. Right, sir. This is completed. And next one is which one? What is the difference between object-oriented programming languages and aspect-oriented programming languages? This question here, you are giving clearly. We have to understand it clearly. Right, sir. Right. And tomorrow onwards, better if 4 members better sit at the boys' side. Tomorrow onwards, this area just leave it for girls now, right? The last bench, and we are 4 members. And the same girls are coming to the last wing. Any business about this pens and all this? It's mandatory for everybody, right? So discipline in my classes. We are all brothers and sisters. We are all boys and we are all brothers and all girls are my sisters. Okay, pen or paper no ask to me directly. Programming languages. Right, sir. Now, I'm giving clarity to all of you. Observe this clearly. Listen. Aspect-oriented programming languages. Aspect-oriented programming languages. The terminology, that word, aspect-oriented programming languages, that word is a wrong word. Is a misterminology. Is not right terminology. No programming language is existed on the basis of aspect orientation. No programming language is existed on the basis of aspect orientation. Good. No programming language is existed on the basis of aspect orientation. But what is this aspect orientation? Which one is available? Aspect orientation is the right word. Aspect oriented programming languages is the wrong word. Object oriented programming languages are existed. Object oriented programming languages are existed. Few programming languages are existed on the basis of object orientation. C++ and Java, that's fine. But aspect oriented programming languages are not existed. No programming language is existed on the basis of aspect orientation. But what is this aspect orientation actually? Aspect orientation is a methodology, is a set of rules and regulations, is a set of guidelines which are applied on as object oriented programming. Aspect orientation is a set of rules and regulations, or it is a methodology or a set of guidelines which are applied on object oriented programming, which are applied on object oriented programming in order to improve loosely coupled design, in order to improve loosely coupled design, and in order to improve shareability and reusability. That's it. This is what exactly the point that I'm telling. Come again. What exactly the concepts I've given there? Aspect oriented programming languages. The terminology is a wrong terminology. So what is right terminology? Aspect orientation is the right terminology. Aspect orientation is the right terminology. But what is this aspect orientation? It is a methodology, or it is a set of rules and regulations, or it is a set of guidelines. Good. Which are applied on where? Which are applied on object oriented programming. Inside the aspect orientation, which programming is going on? Object oriented programming only, which are applied on object oriented programming in order to improve loosely coupled design and in order to improve shareability and reusability. Got it or not? So this is what exactly the meaning of which one? Aspect orientation. Right, sir. Now I will give clarity on this particular point. Try to understand it now. I want to prepare applications in object orientation style. I want to prepare 2 applications in object orientation style. So this is application 1 and this is application 2. 2 applications here I want to prepare on which one? Object orientation style. All of you listen carefully. Application 1 and this is which one? No, application 2. Application 1 and application 2 I want to prepare. Right, sir, I prepared that. In object orientation style, if we want to prepare applications, there we have to combine business logic and services logic as a single unit. We have to provide application logic and the services logic as a single unit. What is business logic and what is services logic? First of all, let me clear about it. Inside this application one, I want to provide authentication is a service. I'll give later on the discussion on this authentication service. This is one thing. Then after that, here we are able to provide which one? No, business logic. We will provide this business logic. Next one is I want to provide. Next one is which one? Authorization. Another service. Authorization is another service. Then after this authorization, we are able to provide business logic. Business logic. Next one is I'll provide data validations, another service. Data validations. Right, sir. Then after this data validations, we are able to provide which one? Business logic. After completion of this, we'll provide which one? Next one. Logging is one of the service. Then after this logging, we are able to provide which one? No, business logic. Understand it? So this is the style of writing programming in which one they know? Object orientation. Right, sir. The same style is available in the case of application 2 also. We are preparing this application 2 also on the basis of which one? Object orientation. So this is the style of writing which one? Object orientation. Right, sir. Now I want to give clarity. What is business logic and what is services logic? What exactly the meaning of business logic and what is services logic? First of all, answer for my questions. Easily we are able to understand. I think all of you are having Facebook accounts. Yes, sir. Am I right or not? Right. All of you are having Facebook accounts. If I ask to you, open your Facebook account in a computer, then what we have to do? Open the browser. In the browser, we have to type which one? www.facebook.com. When we type that, automatically, what we are able to get? Login page we are getting or not? Login page we are getting. Where inside this login page, we have to enter username and password, mobile number or password that we have to enter, and we have to click on this login button. When we click on this login button, internally, program will take your username and password. That program will check whether this username and password is in registered users details or not. If your username and password is in registered users details now, immediately your mail page will be open to you. Your account page will be open to you. For example, if your username and password is not available in the registered users path now, then immediately our application will send the same login page once again to you, where with the red color message like incorrect username and password. This total process is called as authentication. This total process is called as which one? Authentication. Observe this clearly. In Facebook, authentication is required or not? Good. I think all of you might be, we are having Gmail accounts now. Right, sir. When we open the browser, inside the browser, when we type www.gmail.com, when we type www.gmail.com, when we type like this, then immediately what we are going to get now? We are going to get login page we are getting or not? Immediately we are getting which one? Login page. Observe this clearly. Inside this login page also, what we are going to provide now, tell me. First we have to provide username. Next we have to provide password. There also we are going to click on login button. As per our login button click, what we are able to get might be, it will check internally whether you are right user or not. If you are right user, then it will provide which one? The Gmail account page. Your account page we are able to get. If you are not right user, for example, if you are not right user, for example, then immediately same login page here we are getting. In that login page, same we are able to get some message like which one? No, invalid username and password. That type of messages here we are able to get. Understand it clearly. What exactly the point I am telling you? So here also authentication is required or not? Not only in the case of Facebook, not only in the case of Gmail, not only in the case of Yahoo Mail, everywhere in every website authentication is a minimum. This is very common activity at each and every web application, at each and every website. So I want to call it as a service. I want to call it as which one? A service. Understand it clearly. Similarly, authorization is also be required. In general, for every website, two types of users are available. One is a guest and other one is admin. Right, sir. Now tell me the difference between guest and admin, or normal user and admin. Normal user is only viewing the content, not to perform any changes in our web content. Is it clear or not? But administrators are having special permissions to access some data. They are having special permissions to modify the data in our web applications. But whenever they are trying to modify the data, our web application is asking to the administrator, enter your username, password and the role. Username and password you will enter, and the role is going to provide. What is that role here? He is going to provide there. No, that role would be which one? No, admin. Admin is a role. Then only he is eligible to perform modifications in our web applications. Let's say, for example, Flipkart.com is available. E-commerce application, Flipkart.com is available. When I search for core Java books in the Flipkart.com, 50 number of books are available. Now tell me who has added the total 50 number of books to the Flipkart.com? Is that normal user is added that 50 number of books? No, no. Administrators of that respective website, they are able to add. So they're having special permissions, and the special permissions will be checked whenever they are trying to do operations with the respective application. So this is nothing but which one? Authorization. Checking whether the person is authorized person or not to do modifications in our respective applications. This is called as which one? Authorization. This is another point. Next one is, after completion of this particular thing, data validations are available. For example, I have a registration form. Let's say, for example, I want to create a Gmail account. When I want to create a Gmail account, I have to go for sign up. Am I right or not? Sign up option we have to select. That means create account option I have to select. When I select that create account option, there I am able to get which one? The registration form I am able to get. In the registration form, number of fields are available. Name. Next one is which one? Qualification, or maybe address, maybe phone number, alternative email. Like this, all the files are available. For example, user age field is available. Understand? Example point of I am telling there. User age field is available. In the user age field, what I have to enter? Maybe yes, we have to enter. Right, sir. User age in the sense max. What exactly the age now? Maybe then which users are going to access this application? For example, they have some constraints. What are the constraints now? User age minimum 10 years to maybe 90 years, for example, or maybe 0 years to like what about the next one? 100 years, maybe 150 years at most. But I want to enter, for example, I want to enter which one can know 32 years I want to enter, for example. 32 I entered. Unfortunately, by having overlook, my last finger clicking on 0 also, along with the 32. 32 I entered originally, as per my sense, no. As per my awareness, I entered 32. But unfortunately, my last finger clicking on which one? 0 also. So what will the overall years we are getting there? 320 years we are getting. Now tell me, if I enter 320 or 450 like that age now, is my application is allowing that 320 or 450 years now? Immediately what my application has to do? It has to take the test. It has to check whether this age limit is available between 10 to 80 years or not. It will check like this. Okay, if it is in between 10 to 80 years, it's okay, no problem, acceptable. But if it is more than 80, more than 150 years of age now, then definitely my application has to display. My application has to display the same registration form along with the respective user age field. It has to display a message. What was the message it has to display now? User age is not in the range from 10 to 80 years age now. It is in exceeded manner. So invalid user age, like that we are able to get some messages here. Here, whatever the data we enter, the data is checked by our application internally or not. So this is called as which one? Data validations. This is also be required commonly in each and every application or not. The data validation is a common task at each and every website or not. So this is called as which one? A service. Similarly, logging is available. Anyway, no problem. Just ignore it, logging. But still, if you want to know that, while executing my application, I want to trace. I want to trace some events. While in execution of my application, I want to trace some events. Let's say, for example, when user has login, I want to get some statement in my logger page, where what I want to see, this user has entered, this user has logged in. The status I want to get. When I start my server, I want to get a status now. Server was started. When I refresh my server, I want to have status. Server was refreshed. And when I stop my server, I want to have status like which one? Server was stopped. When I logged in, user has logged in. When I logged out, user has logged out. This kind of information I want to get time to time with the day to time inclusion. So this is called as which one? No, logging service. This also be common requirement at each and every application. So it is called as which one? No, a service. So finally, what I am telling now, what is service actually? My service is which one? Service is a task which required commonly at each and every application. Service is a task which we require commonly at each and every application. That is called as which one? A service. Its logic is called as which one? Services logic. Now tell me, in these examples, what are the various services I included in my two examples now? What are the various services I included now? Authentication, one service. Authorization, another service. Data validations, another service. Logging is another service. But what is business logic, sir? What exactly the meaning of business logic now? Business logic is exactly the client requirement. Business logic is exactly the client requirement what we are going to implement in our application. Apart from the services, what exactly the client requirement which we require to implement, that is called as which one? Business logic. I'll give one example. Try to understand this example now. Listen, all of you know. For example, Durgasoft is one of the institutes. Assume it. So far, no web application is available for Durgasoft. I want to prepare web application for the Durgasoft. I want to prepare a software application for the Durgasoft. Observe carefully. So I started my implementation part. I prepared. As part of my application for Durgasoft, I have to include all the activities of Durgasoft. I have to provide implementation for all the activities of Durgasoft. Is it clear or not? One of the activity I want to show to you, try to understand it. When students are coming for inquiry, our counselors have to give one message to all the students. What was that message now? Durgasoft has given one flexibility for students. What was that flexibility? If you want to enroll for our new course, and if you are the existed student, already you joined with some other course, and now you want to enroll for new course, if you are the existed student, then 25% off is going on. 25% off in the next new course we are providing. That is the rule what Durgasoft is maintaining. Understand it clearly? What Durgasoft is having a flexibility for student, a concession for the student. No, if you want to enroll for new course, and if you are the existed student, definitely you are able to get 25% off in our next course fee registration. In the next course fee, 25% will be off. For example, if the next course cost is 1,000 rupees, no, where 25% will be off, 250 rupees will be off. Your next course cost is which one? 750 more. This what Durgasoft is providing now. Sir, don't take it serious. It is not really. Example 25 given now. Don't go to the office. Don't ask 25. Where is my 25% concession? Of course, in Python class, I'm giving 50% concession to you. Huh? Okay, fine. Leave it. Come for our point now. Now tell me, this rule, this particular rule is up to Durgasoft or not? Or you want to apply the same rule in all the other institutes in Hyderabad? This rule was provided by only Durgasoft. That is up to Durgasoft. You cannot apply this for all the institutes in Hyderabad. And you should not ask like this. When we go for inquiry at some other institute, no, you should not say this point. Durgasoft is giving 25% for the existing student to enroll for new courses. So why you are not giving this 25%? You should not apply this. This is up to Durgasoft only. Now here myself is a developer. I am preparing this software for Durgasoft. Durgasoft is client for me, but Durgasoft is having this business role. Durgasoft is having this particular business role. 25% concession for the next new course who are the existing students. This is the business rule what Durgasoft has to manage. The same rule I have to manage in my software or not. To implement that rule, whatever the logic I am going to write, that is exactly called as which one? Business logic. That exactly called as which one? Business logic. Client own requirements, client own business rules and regulations that we have to implement in our application. That is called as which one? Business rules and regulations. Finally, whatever it may be, just now I explained what is business logic and what is services logic. Just now I explained to you now. Come again. Now tell me. Finally, I'm asking there. Tell me what is service actually? Service is a common task which we have to provide at each and every application. It's a common thing. What are the various services are available outside now? Authentication, authorization, data validation, logging, transactions, and so on and so on and so on. Number of services are available. Now tell me, what is business rules and regulations now? Business rules and regulations are the rules and regulations which are up to a particular client, up to the present client, which are not available to every client, which are up to a particular client. That implementation you have to provide in our respective application. So it is called as which one? Business logic. Got it or not? That is exactly called as which one? Business logic. Right. Now observe these points now. If I want to prepare my applications by using object orientation style, by using object orientation, if I want to prepare my applications, inside my applications, I have to combine both business logic and services logic as a single program. I have to provide both the logics, business logic and services logic in a single program as a single unit. I have to prepare my program if you want to use which one? Object orientation. As all of you are getting clarity now? If you want to prepare programs in object orientation, in our programs, we have to combine, we have to embed both the business logic and the services logic as a single. But this type of design is called as tightly coupled design. This type of design is called as which one? Tightly coupled design. This tightly coupled design is not providing reusability and is not providing shareability. This tightly coupled design is not providing reusability and it is not providing shareability. Observe this clearly. I'm asking the one question to all of you. Try to answer for it. How many applications I prepared now? Tell me. 2 applications I prepared. Observe carefully. 2 applications I prepared. In 2 applications, in both the applications, how many copies of services I provided now? Tell me. 2 applications I prepared, and how many copies of services I prepared? 2 individual copies of services I prepared or not? For each and every application, a separate copy of services I prepared or not? Tell me, sir. I'm asking question to you now. For each and every application, a separate copy of services I prepared or not? For each and every application, if we provide a separate copy of services now, where we provided reusability and where we provided shareability now, tell me. Have you provided any shareability? Have you provided any reusability? Understand it. What is the meaning of shareability? Single copy is available. At a time, 10 programs are running. At a time, sharing this single copy to all 10 number of programs. Understand my point here? Single copy of library is available. 10 programs are running parallelly and giving this single copy to all the 10 number of programs. That is called as shareability. But have you maintained any shareability? No shareability is available. That's fine. Second one is which one? Reusability. Single copy is available. One time I define this functionality using again and again, same functionality. That is called as which one? Reusability. But have you maintained any reusability in this program? So no shareability is available, no reusability is available in this application. So this type of design is called as which one? Tightly coupled design. But this design is not at all suggestible in our applications. This design will provide lesser shareability and lesser reusability. But code redundancy may be increased if you go for this approach. But exactly in this particular situation, If we want to improve shareability and if we want to improve reusability, there we have to provide a loosely coupled design. There we have to provide which one? Loosely coupled design. But how we are going to get loosely coupled design? How we are able to improve reusability and shareability? In the sense, over this object-oriented programming, we have to apply aspect orientation. Over this object-oriented programming, we have to apply aspect orientation. So, if you're getting my point or not? Over this object orientation, we have to apply aspect orientation. Now, I'm going to apply aspect orientation over this object-oriented programming. First of all, get clarity, no? All of you are getting clarity up to this problem, no? In object orientation, what is the problem? All of you are getting clarity up to this? That's fine. Now I want to apply aspect orientation over this object orientation style. Now listen carefully, all of you know. In aspect orientation, what we are going to do now? In aspect orientation, what we are going to do now? First of all, identify what are the various services we have applied, we have used inside our application. Tell me, what are the various services here I have used? What are the various services I have used now? Tell me. Authentication. Next one is which one? Authorization. Next one, data validation. Next one, login. Good. First of all, recognize what are the various services here we have used. Then after that, separate these services logic from our application. Separate these services from our application. Authorization is also a service. Now separate this authorization from our application. Understand it clearly what I am doing now. Next one, data validations is also be one of the service. Now separate it from our application. From the both the applications. How many applications we have used and how many applications we provided this object orientation style? In all the applications, we have to separate all the services from our business logic. 4 services I applied previously. All the 4 services we separated. After separating these services, what I am telling now, declare each and every service as an aspect. Declare each and every service as which one? As an aspect. Understand it? Declare each and every service as an aspect. Now I want to call this is authentication aspect. I want to call this is which one? No, authentication aspect. Now here I want to call it as aspect 1, authentication aspect. Next one is which one? Then no, aspect 2. That is which one? Authorization aspect. Third one is which one? Aspect 3. I am providing. Now this is validation aspect. Next one is which one? Aspect 4. I will provide. This is logging aspect. Right, sir. We separated all these aspects in outside from the business logic. Now tell me, whenever we separated services from the business logic, now my coding part is very much clean or not? My coding is very much clean or not? At one place I maintain all the services, at other places I maintain all the business logic. My separation is very clear. My coding part is somewhat clean. Right, sir. Now observe this clearly. After separating aspects like this, at the runtime of our applications, at the runtime, not at compilation time, at runtime of our application, when we execute our applications, while executing our applications, where we require these services, just inject these services into the respective locations. Inject these services into the respective locations. Injecting services into the respective locations in the sense, don't include code instructions inside the business logic. Just to provide services injection at a runtime. Don't include coding part. Coding part already be separated. Now we are getting clean separation between business logic and services logic. Then what we have to include? That services we have to include at the runtime of our application. Now inside my application 1, here I require this service now. So include this. In application 2, here I require my service. Now include this. Here we required and here we required. Include this. Wherever we require these services, no, there we have to include our required services in our business logic. But this inclusion is going on at what time here now? At a runtime only, not at which one? No, compilation time. Understand it clear? Not at design time. At the runtime only, we are going to include this. All of you observe this clearly. I want to ask one question now. Try to answer for it. Now tell me, sir, how many services here we provided now? 4 services we provided. What are the 4 services names now? Authentication, authorization, data validation, and logging. Listen carefully. If I want to perform some changes on my logging service now, if I want to perform changes on my logging service now, if I use this approach, directly I will go to the logging location where I can perform one time my modification. Automatically one time modification will be will be given to all other applications which are using logging or not. One time change will give effect to all of our applications or not. But if I use previous approach, wherever I have used logging, there I have to go there I have to perform modification or not. But how many times we are modifying now? How many number of applications are using logging? Up to that many number of times we have to perform modification. Now tell me, which approach is good now? Is that aspect orientation is good or only object orientation is good? Aspect orientation. Now code maintenance is very simple. Code maintenance is very simple in the case of which one? Aspect orientation. But in the case of object orientation, code maintenance is not at all simple. Where code maintenance is difficult. Just example, if you go for object orientation, services are provided individually to each and every application. If you want to perform changes on logging, then we have to perform changes at the application 1. The same modifications we have to perform at application 2, and the same modification we have to perform up to 10th application. And now up to 10 applications we are using logging. 10 times we have to perform modification. But if you use this aspect orientation, if I want to perform changes on my logging, up to how much application, up to how many number of times we have to perform changes? No, only one time we have to perform changes. That is at services location only, not at which one? No, application business. Now tell me, I'm asking one question to all of you. Try to answer for it. Now tell me, sir. Here also, how many applications I'm running? How many applications I'm running? 2 applications I'm executing. That's fine. Tell me, how many copies of services I provided? Only 1 copy or not? 1 copy of services I provided. The single copy of services will be shared to how many applications now? 2 applications. But in the previous case now, 2 individual copies we maintained. But in this application, only 1 copy of services we maintain. That copy will be shared to both the applications. So this is nothing but which one? Shareability. This is the meaning of which one? Shareability. Point number 1. Listen carefully. Point number 2. How many times I define my services now? 1 time or more than 1 time? 1 time only I define it. But how many times we are using? How many times we are using? More than 1 time. We define 1 time, but how many times we are using? More than 1 time we are using. So what is the meaning of it now? Reusability we are able to achieve. So this aspect orientation is able to provide code reusability or not? Aspect orientation is able to provide which one? Code reusability. So these are the advantages we are able to get from aspect orientation. And regularly we are going to provide object orientation. But over this object orientation, if you apply aspect orientation rules and regulations, they're automatically loosely coupled design we are able to get. Not only that loosely coupled design, we are able to get shareability and we are able to get which one? Code reusability. This is an advantage of which one? Aspect orientation. Sir, all of you are getting clarity or not? Nothing, sir. No need to think more about it. Previously, we combined services and business logic, where code maintenance is difficult. Aspect orientation I applied, where what is that advantage we are getting? We separated all services from business logic. We maintain at a single location. Then after that, we are including these aspects into the respective applications at runtime while executing our program. It's not like code inclusion, just it is only which one? Service inclusion. Get my point or not? So what is the advantage we are going to get from this approach now? Reusability and shareability we are able to get. Because of this reason only, we have to go for which one? Aspect orientation. Again, I'm asking one last question. Now tell me, in aspect orientation, which style of programming we have to write? Which programming we have to provide in aspect orientation? Object oriented programming only. Inside the aspect orientation, object oriented programming only we have to write. But over the top of the object orientation, we are going to add a layer. That is which one? aspect orientation to improve shareability and to improve reusability. That's it. This topic is very important topic if you want to go for Spring framework. If you go for Spring framework, this topic is required. Here itself, I am giving clarity about this particular aspect orientation. Anyway, listen carefully. Okay, sir, good. I understood what is object orientation, what is the problem with object orientation, and what is aspect orientation, and what are the advantages of aspect orientation. We understood. That's fine. But my requirement is, listen, all of you, my requirement is where we require this aspect orientation, where we need this aspect orientation. On a simple conclusion, aspect orientation is not much useful in application development. In the service oriented application development, it is not much useful. But where aspect orientation is useful, aspect orientation is much useful in products development. Products development. Please recognize this. In outside, two types of companies are available. One is project based, another one is product based. Service oriented project based, product based. I want to give examples. Microsoft is available. Microsoft is which type of company? Product based. They had their own products. They are depending on their products business only. They are not providing services to some other companies or some other clients. They had their own products. They are selling the products. Time to time, they are updating their products. Windows operating system, like SQL Server database, all these things. That is purely which one? Product based. For example, TCS is available. TCS based. This is which type of company? Service based. Client is available. For the client, they are going to prepare a particular application. Not only preparing that application, in the next 10 years of time, that our company has to provide services to the respective client. Answer my point here. Here service orientation is going on, service based. Now here my point is which one? Aspect orientation is not much useful in service oriented projects development, but aspect orientation is much useful in a products development. Any examples? Any example for products development now? Yes, number of examples are available. Inside my compilers, we required aspect orientation. Inside my JVM implementation, I required aspect orientation. Inside my Tomcat server, WebLogic server, JBoss server, in all the server products, I required aspect orientation. Inside the frameworks, I required aspect orientation. And so on, a number of examples are available. In almost all the products, we are going to use this aspect orientation. Sir, okay, in a product implementations, we are going to use aspect orientation. Tell me any existed example at present which is going on in outside. At present, any live example for this aspect orientation? Yes, exactly. I'm able to give one example. That is which one? No, that is which one? Spring framework. Spring framework. Spring framework is using aspect orientation in a very much effective manner. Spring framework. Answer my point. I'm giving clarity to you. In a Spring framework, nearly 6 to 7 modules are available. In a Spring framework, 6 to 7 modules are available. Core module. Next one is the AOP module. Next one is the remoting. Next one is the JDBC module. Next one is the ORM module. Then after that, web module, web MVC module, and like number of modules are available inside the Spring framework. Out of these modules, AOP module is more effective. AOP module is available. AOP module is more effective. Because of this aspect orientation, Spring framework is having this much of demand in outside market. Because of this AOP module and core module only, the Spring framework is having much demand in outside market. Tell me, sir, any example for much demand for Spring framework because of this AOP? I can give one example to you. Try to understand it now. But listen carefully. One simple example I'm telling to all of you. Try to understand it. For example, listen carefully. For example, I want to go for a movie. At IMAX theater, I want to see a movie. I think very latest movie is which one there? Kabir Singh, right? And Telugu, I think that movie was name is which one? Arjun Reddy. Already I've seen that, sir. Okay, no problem. Once again, I want to see that Kabir Singh movie. Ajimate. Then I went to which one there now? IMAX theater. I want to go to that IMAX theater. Then I want to see that movie. Today is Sunday, for example. Sunday at each and every theater is in rush, totally full. Tickets are not that much of easy to get and to go for that movie. But today I want to see that movie. How I'm going to see that movie? Not only me, along with me, my 4 girlfriend will come. Totally, how many tickets are required, sir? 5 tickets are required. So my situation is which one? 5 tickets I have to get if I want to bring all my 4 girlfriends to that respective movie. Moreover, that movie is Kabir Singh, Arjun Reddy. Yes, sir. Corner seats, huh? Full experienced, I think so. You. I don't have any requirement to go for corner seats, sir. Middle seat, I want to take. Myself is very much straight, no problem for me. Listen, I have a site now, so what I have to do? If I take corner seat, what I will do? Site, I want to see that movie. Straight, I want to search. Anyways, sir, leave it. I require 5 tickets now. Today is which one there? Sunday. Tickets are not that much of easy. But I am planning for evening 6 o'clock. Evening 6 o'clock movie. The time for that movie is 6 o'clock evening. That evening 6 o'clock is more rush at each and every theater. But I'm waiting for that. So far, I did not have any ticket. I did not have any proper plan. Just half an hour back, my girlfriends confirmed to me. So I want to go for it. That's my situation. What I have. Now the time is 4 o'clock. Now the time is 4 o'clock. No tickets are available to me. Now the time is 5 o'clock. 6 o'clock show. I have to get ready. I have to move. I was ready, but I have to move. But no tickets. What I have to give response to my girlfriend. If I'm not getting tickets now, my image will be down at my girlfriend's, right? Am I right or not? Really, I'm saying I have 4 girlfriends. I think some of you are having question mark face. You only are having girlfriend, no? Don't you think about girlfriend with me? I already completed MTech and discontinued PhD. Definitely I require, right? No, listen carefully. I'll give their names also, no problem. If you require numbers also I will give. Listen first of all. So, 5 o'clock, 1 hour time is available. Then no tickets are available almost all at theaters now. But I want to go for that movie. All of a sudden, what happened? My home doorbell is ringing. I open the door. When I open the door, one tall person with the uniform, he stand in front of me. He has given a speech box and with 5 tickets for the same Kabir Singh movie at IMAX. I was shocked. One person is standing in front of me, is giving sweets box. Along with that sweets box, he is giving 5 tickets to me. As it is exactly 5 tickets. I'm getting shocked. I asked him, why you are giving sweet box and why you are giving these 5 tickets now? How do you know about my requirement? How you are giving these tickets to me? Then he said to me, sir, it's okay, sir. I think you forgot about your activity yesterday. Yesterday night you came to Hyderabad Central for shopping. You and along with you, 4 girlfriends are there. One of your girlfriend has filled one lucky coupon. In that lucky coupon, today you are the luckiest person. That's why we are giving 5 tickets and a sweet box to you. Observe carefully. I did not submitted my request to anybody else. Somebody else understood my requirement. Somebody else came to my home. Somebody else has given my required services. But I did not submit any request to anybody else in outside. But they understood my requirement. They are giving my required tickets to me. When I got tickets, 5 tickets especially, not even 2 to 3. Out of these 5 members, if 4 tickets are available, then what's the next step now? Yes, sir. Out of 5 members, 4 tickets are available. What will the next step now? Family problems will come or not? Right. Finally, I got that 5 tickets. No, I was very happy. I went to the movie. I've seen that movie, having fun. Leave it. In this scenario, myself is a Java program. Hyderabad Central has submitted tickets to me. Hyderabad Central is a Spring framework. IMAX Theater is a service. Listen carefully. My program has not submitted any request to the Spring framework. But what Spring Framework has done, Spring Framework came to my application. Spring Framework understood what exactly the services I required. Spring Framework analyzed it, and the Spring Framework has provided all these services to me. The ticket service was given to me automatically, but I did not submit any request to somebody else. But somebody else came to me, somebody else understood me, somebody else has given my required services to me. What exactly Spring Framework is doing the work in outside, the same work that Spring Framework is doing. What exactly the work, what exactly the services I got without submitting my request? No, same thing was done by which one? Spring Framework. Understand it. In general, what is going on? Request to response mode is going on. If you want to get any service, you have to submit request. Then only we are able to get response. Is it clear or not? But now what happened there? No. But what Spring Framework has done? Spring Framework has not received any request. Directly Spring Framework will come to my program. Spring Framework will understand what exactly the services we require at my program, and it will provide required services to me automatically. Because of this kind of nature only, Spring Framework is getting very much demand in outside market. How Spring Framework is having this much of services like this? How Spring Framework is doing this kind of action now? That is because of AOP only. That is because of aspect orientation only. Inside the Spring Framework, all the services are available. Just it will understand which services are required. It will inject these services to the application at runtime. Already it had all the services. No, it will inject these services to the applications at runtime. Because of this particular nature only, Spring Framework is getting very good demand in outside market. I said, all of you are getting it or not? So this is the total awareness on which one? Aspect of orientation, not more than this. Yes, all of you are getting clarity now? Right, sir. Leave this one. Now, totally types of programming languages were completed, sir. What are the various types of programming languages in general? 4 types of programming languages. What are the 4 types of programming languages now? Unstructured, structured, object oriented, and aspect oriented. These are the 4 types of programming languages. Each and every type you understood clearly in a very much effective manner. Leave this particular topic, and one small notice to all of you. So we have fresher recruitment on Java for Intense. Company name. Written test will be conducted on 29th June, Saturday at 1 p.m. at Durgosoft at the rate 307 Pro. In the same classroom. I think so tomorrow, right? Tomorrow is a Saturday at 1 o'clock. Test is going on. Without fail, you try to attend for the test. First 5 to 10 minutes, I will take induction program. After taking that induction program, I want to go for which one? The test. Durgosoft will prepare the paper. Durgosoft will give that paper to you. You have to write that exam. Topmost 70 members will send it to the respective company. The company people don't want to come here. If you are selected in that 70% list now, that 70% list must go there, must go to the respective company at a company environment, at a company premises. The remaining rounds are going to be provided there. Right, sir. This is one thing here we have to understand. Next, new batches at our organization. New batches. Python weekend batches are going to be start by Srinivas. 29th and 30. First class is going on 9 p.m. at Maitron only. My another new batch for core Java at 1st July Monday 11:30 a.m. If any of you require backup classes, we can cover that backup classes there on Monday 11:30 a.m. Advanced Java, another new batch I am going to start at 4:30 p.m. Already started, demo class are going on. Monday is the last demo class. On Monday I will finish the demo class there. I'll go for it. Next one, Angular 7. Swaminathan sir will take the classes 1st July Monday 7 a.m. and Python Saturday and Sunday only to our point. Now finally, types of programming languages here we completed. Now listen carefully. Next one is object oriented features. Object oriented features is the next topic. Listen, all of you listen carefully. Object oriented features. Right, understand it? To describe the nature of object orientation, object orientation has provided the following features. To describe the nature of object orientation has provided a set of features. What are the various sets of features are provided by object orientation? First one is class, and the second one is object, and the third one is encapsulation, and the fourth one is abstraction, and the fifth one is inheritance, and the sixth one is polymorphism, and the seventh one is message passing. Understand it? So to describe the nature of object orientation, overall 7 number of features are available. What are the 7 number of features here we are having? First one is a class, next one is the object, next one is encapsulation, and fourth one is abstraction, fifth one is inheritance, sixth one is polymorphism, seventh one is which one? Message passing. Right, sir. Listen, all of you listen carefully. On the basis of these object oriented features, two types of programming languages were defined. On the basis of this object orientation, two types of programming languages were defined. What are the two types of programming languages were defined? First one is object oriented programming languages, and the second one is object based programming languages. On the basis of these object oriented features, there are two types of object related programming languages. What are the two types of object related programming languages? First one is object oriented programming languages, and the second one is object based programming languages. Is clear? Object oriented programming languages and object based programming languages. Clear? Now observe this clearly. Here we have a question. What about our question now? What is the difference between object oriented programming languages and object based programming languages? What is the difference between object oriented programming languages and object based programming languages? Right, sir. I want to give answer for this particular question. Try to understand it. Tell me, sir. Now tell me, what are the various object oriented features? What are the various groups of features? Now tell me. Class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, message passing. Clear? Observe this point clearly. Object oriented programming languages are able to allow almost all the object oriented features, including inheritance. Object oriented programming languages are able to allow almost all the object oriented features including inheritance. Example is which one? Java. Java is an example for which one? Object oriented programming languages, which includes inheritance. Inheritance is available or not available in Java? Available. Even of course C++ is also which one? Object oriented programming language, where inheritance features are included. Leave it. Next, coming to the next point. What is this object based programming language? No, object based programming languages are able to allow almost all the object orientation features, object oriented features excluding inheritance. Understand it? What is the meaning of including and what is the meaning of excluding? Including in the sense inheritance feature is existed. Excluding in the sense inheritance feature is not existed in the respective languages. Object-based programming languages are able to allow almost all the object-oriented features excluding inheritance. Any example for this object-based programming languages? No. Any example for object-based programming? No. JavaScript is the best example, where object-oriented features are available, but inheritance is not existed mainly. So JavaScript is an example for which one? Object-based. Tell me, sir, what is the difference between object-oriented and object-based? No, object-oriented programming languages are including inheritance feature. Example is Java. Object-based programming languages are able to allow almost all the object-oriented features, excluding inheritance. That's it. This is a simple terminology related points only. We have to understand clearly. Next, I will ask one more question to all of you. Now try to answer for it. Now we are discussing about object-oriented features. Now 7 number of features are available. Now I want to give brief view of each and every feature, not in detailed fashion. Just what kind of information about all the object-oriented features we are going to understand. Now one time, let me check it. Now here, as part of that, the very first question here I'm asking now. That question is, what are the differences between class and object? What are the differences between class and object? What are the differences between class and object? This topic here we have to understand. What are the differences between class and object? Right? So I will discuss this topic on tomorrow. It may take some time. So nearly 20 to 25 minutes of time I have to spend for it. So I will discuss about this difference on tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday, right? Tomorrow we have a session, and this OOPS concepts on I will continue. And please tell me, what is the session on Sunday? 8:30 to 1 o'clock. No changes on the chapter. 8:30 to 1 o'clock. I will take our session. Right, sir. That's all for today. And tomorrow we'll see the remaining point. Thank you.